Well, good evening, and be yourself. Be yourself. Sometimes when I open the show, or when I've done public speaking, or when I have to speak up at work or in any setting, I start to become an orchestrated robot on what I should say and what I think people want me to say, or how to speak in the right tone. When you're on a job interview, when you're in front of people speaking, when you're in doubt, be yourself. Don't worry about the judgment of others. You're never going to make everyone happy. You can never be everything to everyone. And the freedom comes from being willing to speak up and to hold yourself back from being what others want you to be, and to be yourself, your best self. So, yes, you should grow. Yes, you should mature. And yes, you should be under self control. But you should not become an orchestrated robot to be what other people want you to be in the crowd, what other people want you to be on the other side of YouTube. You don't have to be who other people. Don't worry about what other people want you to be. Be yourself. And the right people who appreciate, who celebrate, and who honor you will continue. And the wrong people will eventually leave you no matter what. The wrong people will eventually leave you no matter what. So make their life easy. Be yourself. Worrying comes from the fear of judgment and punishment. Worry comes from the fear of judgment of others and punishment. Worry shows, there's a scripture that says, worry shows that we haven't experienced the love of God, which is grace and a lack of punishment, a lack of judgment. Don't be self-conscious. Don't give in to insecurities. Be yourself. The other instance which worry weighs on our mind is too much focus on the future. When things are going good, we worry that they're not always going to go good. When things are going bad, we worry they're never going to get better. All you can do is live life one day at a time, because as we live in the moment, we make the most of our lives. We can't control the future. And so there was another scripture that I really liked. It says, why worry about tomorrow? Can worrying add one moment to your life? No. Jesus said that. He said, can worrying add one moment to your life? No. That's the answer. And they don't worry about what you'll eat, or what you'll if you'll have clothes, or all these different things, which are all understandable to think about. But don't give in to worry. There was almost a whole chapter, there was at least a whole page in the Bible that Jesus was writing, or that it was documented, people who heard Jesus speaking, not to worry. He didn't say not to masturbate, he said not to worry. Okay. Some people get upset when I say I watch porn or I do this and that. There was more discussion from Jesus about not worrying than there was about not watching porn or about not committing adultery. Don't worry. Don't worry if the Pharisees don't like when you speak. Don't worry if whoever doesn't like when you speak. Give yourself the freedom and the confidence to be yourself. And give yourself the freedom to have peace. Tonight, when you go to bed, fight for your peace, not to worry. Give what you can't control to God or whatever you believe in. If you believe in nothing, just give it away. Cast all your cares, whether it's on God or whether you want to believe in something else, whatever you want to do. And, that's what I want to say. Live comments. Luke, hey, Sam, hope you're doing well. Awesome on this Tuesday night. Yeah, I'm doing good, brother. I appreciate you coming in here on the regular, man. You make my day a little bit brighter. I was thinking about that today. Do kind people make life better? Yes. Now, I understand that if you're too kind, people take advantage of it, and you got to be a little bit firm sometimes. That's true. I remember when I went on a job interview for a leadership position, after I'd almost like sealed the deal, then the manager said one thing. Look, he says, I see you're a nice guy, this and that. He goes, but I have to make sure that if you put in a leadership position, if someone needs to be reprimanded, that you're willing to be firm. And so you have to be firm. But let me tell you something. Compassion and empathy is the number one quality of character. If you know how to discipline, if you know how to reprimand, but you don't know how to have compassion and empathy, you have lost the real game of life. Because not until you're broken do you realize the need for compassion. When you're having a hard day and you hate life, and you go into Starbucks and someone greets you with a kind, warm-hearted smile and is nice to you, or you see someone in the street, and it's a salvation. It's a grace. It keeps you away. You're sitting there, you're walking to the store, you have all the worry of the world on your mind. And someone is just a little kind to you, holding up the door, asking how your day was. And that's a seed of salvation. You're ready to give up on everything, and just a little bit of kindness, it does make a difference. The salt of the earth. The scripture says the people of God are salt of the earth. They make life a little bit better because this world tastes nasty. Sometimes you got to add a little salt, not too much salt, because, too much Joel Osteen salt, and then it's too salty. But you know what I'm saying? I think you do. Good job, Luke. Luke, got a question. All right, let's go. For you, got a question. For you, do you employees at work know about YouTube channel, or do keep it on the low? Some of them know, some of them don't. Some of them in the beginning actually recommended I do it. It's a little bit of a risk, so I don't tell anybody new. Some of them knew, some of them found out, and they're like, oh, I'm subscribed. And then some of their family members found out, and then like they were subscribed. It can become a disaster, but I mean, I enjoy doing this. It's a little bit scary. I mean, the only saving grace is I'm positioned enough in life that, it's just me out here in this world. But if I tell you right now, if I had a family, if I had all the other burdens most people have in life, I wouldn't be doing it. It's not worth it. It's too risky. And that's why a lot of them, it's a blessing for me to be able to use this platform to voice my opinions and perspective, because they represent other people, and other people aren't at liberty to take that same risk because they have other responsibilities other than themselves. And so, one is, I'm speaking from my opinion, my perspective. I can't be everything to everyone. I'm not going to worry about that. I have to fight that every day. I can't worry about pleasing everyone. I try to treat people right in real life and on YouTube, but I can't please everyone. But, I take it serious, the platform to speak and to affect people's lives and to lead. I take that serious. And I look at ways, well, all right, Sam, I got to get a little bit better here. You know what I mean? I got to pull back here. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I don't I believe in being direct and honest and straightforward, not pandering. But I also believe in self-development, because you're not a leader just if you speak blunt and you just tell everyone go F themselves. That's not a leader. Now, sometimes you got to be firm. Sometimes you got to call it how it is. But if your only mark to leadership is you tell everyone to go F themselves, that's not a leader. You have to mature. You have to grow. You have to self-develop. You have to refine yourself. That's all part of the development. In my perspective, good job. Bull jive, still working on my plan, Sammy. All right, it takes time. Kentucky to Florida, praise the Lord. In February, added 500 more to the savings today. Your savings is your savings grace. So empathy and love to those who don't have a savings account. I've been there, but build up your savings account as much as you can. I agree with that. Today was about 83 degrees, sunny, maybe a little bit warmer. Right now it's probably in about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Low humidity, feels beautiful. I'll be at a campground probably tonight. Very nice. We worry because of overwhelming scenarios. Totally agree with that. Good job. And previous experiences and hopes of preventing it again. James, excellent comment and good insight. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. We worry about overwhelming scenarios. I agree with that. And about past, previous experiences, which means we know risk and failure are real, and we fear that punishment again. And I mean, that's real. I mean, like I said, look, in our society, there is a message to take risks, But what most people never preach is that most people fail at taking risks. So why take risks? You have to take some calculated risk. You have to get a little bit out, or else you'll never go forward. But the key is a level of balance. And the main key is grace, that, you're going to need some breaks, and you're going to need some undeserving grace along the way. And you have to keep getting up. Fall, you get back up. The godly may fall 7 times, but they will get up again. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. That's not easy. Like, I remember I was speaking to a friend a couple of years ago. He had texted me. And when someone reaches out to you, they want to talk. They need to talk. When you reach out to someone else, you want to talk. Never forget that. So sometimes, like, I look at my phone, it's like, I'm not in the mood to talk. And if you're really not in a good place to talk, don't answer. But as I mature and I refine myself, one thing now that I remember in my mind, when someone calls or texts me, they need to talk. There's something going on in their life that they need something, but a lot of people don't have my phone number, but those who do, I'm conscious of that. But basically, with the guy, when he texted me a couple of years ago, he was basically hurting. And he didn't really say what it was, because when you're hurting, you can't verbally express what the pain is. It's too raw. Like, again, when my dog died, I couldn't tell people for 6 months. If you lose a big chunk of money, you're not going to be able to say it immediately. All these different things. And so I don't know what was going on in his life, but he had texted me, and I could tell he was just like trying to like reach out. And I was like, brother, whatever's going on, man, you just remember, if you fall, you get back up. And he goes, Sam, I know, but as you get older, that gets harder. And as I get older, I understand now better what he is saying. But at the end of the day, the answer is always, you have to put one foot in front of the other, and you have to get up and move as best you can. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, roll, whatever you have to do. I remember Martin Luther King had that quote that, if you can't walk, crawl, if you can't crawl, roll, whatever, you have to go forward. And you can't worry about what people like and what they don't like. They want you to be in favor of this. They don't want you to be in favor of that. They want you to quote this. They don't want you to quote that. I can't be you. Okay, it's not my job. My job is to be the best me. And to be the best me means I have to have compassion on myself. I have to mature and refine myself. And I can't fear punishment or judgment of others. Can't worry about that. If I worry about that, my whole life is based in insecurity and in pain and in most people, 90% of people you come across with in life, they're suffering. Only 10% of people, 10% of the time, are fully happy. Never forget that. So as you fight for your 10% joy and trying to get out of this 90% of misery, you have to be very conscious of playing to the crowd or playing to people or trying to be what other people want you to be, because they're hurting too. So the best thing you can be is your best self, because that's healing. And that's leadership for yourself and for others. Good job. All right. Luke, another update. I went thrift store hunting again. Good job today. Found a cool, this guy likes to flip t-shirts. That's what he's talking about. A cool 1982 E.T. movie. I liked E.T. I really liked the movie Short Circuit. Almost made me cry. It did make me cry. When I was young, there was a movie Short Circuit with like a robot that was like a real human. Damn, what was the robot's name? I don't remember. Damn, I love that robot. Make me cry if I think about too much. That and Bambi and any type of animal movie I can never watch. I'll cry like a baby. Game Board, bought it for $1. Found it's worth $40 online. You flipping that? I'm not mad at you, Luke. Good for you, man. Zakia, hey Zakia, love and respect to Alaska. Good to see you. Thank you for the comment on the video. I hope you're having a great day at work. I was thinking about that today. I'm going to do a video one time, working the night shift versus working the day shift. Zakia works the night shift. I've worked the night shift. I worked the second shift and the first shift. There's different pros and cons to all that. But I want to touch on that because I think that's an important part of life and your journey and your career. But either way, Zakia, hope you're doing good and keep going forward with your van life dreams. Luke, amen to that, being yourself. Better to have a few who are really there than to have many who don't care, and the first ones to abandon you when you need them the most. Well, I agree. You need you more than you need them. There was a quote I saw on Instagram like that. You need you more than you need them. If you lose yourself just to make someone else happy, it's not a win. It's a loss for you and it's a loss for them. You have to be yourself. That's what delivers you and the people around you. Never forget it. James, I think there was less worry if there was communicated in the present. Well, what I think about when you say that is, look, when we live in the past, there's pain and depression because we think of failures and all those things. And when we live in the future, there's overwhelming anxiety, which was referenced. The key is to live in the present moment and take life one day at a time. That's not easy, especially when we're going through a tough time. So, but that's the only thing that we can remember, and that's again there was a whole page in the Bible that talked about that. Can worrying add one day to your life? It can't. You just got to take life one day at a time. And that's it. Good job. Bull jive. Good point, Sammy. I think by living in the moment, we could eliminate a lot of senseless worrying. We can. It's not easy. So, I'm certainly not going to say I've mastered it. I haven't mastered anything. I mean, Paul the Apostle said that I haven't reached perfection, but that's my goal. I have a goal, even if I miss. Aim for the moon, even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. So, I was thinking about that tonight when I was walking the floor. I was looking at the moon. I said, damn. I said, I didn't get here exactly how I thought it would and everything worked out. I said, but I'm still amongst the stars down here in South Florida. And damn, it's pretty good. I'm not mad at that, James. Don't count the days. Make the days count, baby. Well, that's true. Good quote. He says, don't count the days. Make the days count. Good job. A lot of times we do count the days to the weekend, to the next vacation. That's true. Tom Hanks, North Carolina's in the building. Good evening, Sam. Good evening to you. Got a nice night here with the Harris Teeter sub sandwich. I'm not mad at that. And some skinny popcorn. Definitely not mad at that. Harris Teeter still didn't have salt and pepper. All right, well, they're slacking. That's not an easy flavor to find of the skinny popcorn is salt and pepper, but that's the best in my opinion. But either way, you had a goal. You had a goal to go get some salt and pepper skinny popcorn, but you only got the original. Is that better than Doritos? Hell yeah. Doritos make you fat and nasty. Skinny pop, you may be just a little bit extra weight, but not enough to be overweight. Good job, James. Sam, I appreciate the fact that you can tell us that you watch adult entertainment. Oh, definitely. Believe me, everyone has had that same enjoyment of the time. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Look, we're humans. Part of the human function is sexuality. I mean, it may be less as you get older for some people, and some people are more sexual than others. But it's freeing to speak on that. It's just part of life. I don't expose myself to other people. I don't molest people. I don't hurt people. Every relationship that I've ever had with opposite sex, even though some of them ended in disaster, it was all love and respect. Like I never had any type of domestic issues. So, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I learned too. Like a lot of times, people give me crap for speaking the truth, and they're like choir boys, like in public, or choir girls, and then behind the scenes, total disaster. So you might as well be honest about it. But we're all different, Tom. Also, did you notice what my profile pic is? And do you remember that Seinfeld episode? I can't tell from my phone. It does look like a bald guy. Is that George? That's all I can tell from. I don't even know. Is that George? James Rosnato. Love and respect. Thank you. Ooh, what's up, brother? Michigan's in the house. Sam, got a text from an old girly friend. I used to hang out with back in the day. Here we go. I asked her if she wanted to hang. Oh, I bet you did. Then she came up with the line, I'm in a wheelchair now, God forbid. Got me worried and turned it down. Well, damn. Well, I don't wish that on anyone. I mean, that got a little bit too real. So I don't want to wish anybody. I don't know if that's a joke or if that's real. God bless. James, Sam, baby. I just Googled introvert and it reminded me of what you said about recharging your battery. Well, yes. Now, I have very good social skills. I'm good with people, but for the 90% of the time, I like to be by myself. Now, that can be considered an introvert. What was that R&B artist that had a song like 2 years about it? I forgot the name of the artist, but some girl, and it was basically about being an introvert, being at a party with other people, but she was like in her own head. That's how I feel. DNT, Professional Windows Cleaner. What's up, Sam? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks again for the love and support. I hope you're doing good. I hope that business doing good. And I hope people aren't taking advantage of you, because I know you're a good person. I watched a couple of his videos, and I was like, man, this guy, got a sincere heart. And I know how it is to have a sincere heart in an effed up world. People take advantage of it. So, but again, I mean, I struggle with that myself. Yes, if you're too kind, people do abuse your kindness. But again, I want to be very clear. I struggle with this too. The answer isn't just to be rigid and be a totally blunt asshole. People who are kind are the salt of the earth. And especially if you're going to be a leader's job is not to bully the weak, it's to protect the weak. You know, understand what I'm saying? So, all I can say is don't let this world steal your kindness, but certainly don't let people abuse your kindness. So we have to find that balance in life, and it's an evolution. But be yourself. Like if you're I was a good guy, like for many times, and then like either like girls didn't like it or guys didn't like it, and then I said, well, I'm not going to be the good guy anymore. Like I'm going to be like the rebel bad guy, like to play that part. And then I just like lost myself, and that's not me. Overall, I try to be a kind-hearted person, but I can get a little bit pissed. But be yourself. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't worry about what people want you to be, because that's a dangerous trap. Be yourself. If you're a kind-hearted person, if you're a good-hearted person, be that. Again, don't let people abuse you, so learn to refine and mature that, but be that. Don't fall for the society, good guys finish last, or this and this and that. You know what I mean? Don't let the world turn you into a prick. But at the same time, again, don't let people take advantage of you. It's a balance. Good job. Zakia, you never mention where you work. IT industry. So I don't see why your employee would have a problem. Well, that's why they don't. And that's why I don't say certain specifics. But, I mean, let's be honest. In a technology era, I mean, there's a reason why many people don't have their real name on their profile pictures, or they don't have their real face. And it's a tough balance, because in a technology era, all your information is out there. And so, let's say all of a sudden, okay, a new boss came into my department or came into the company, and this guy's a big Donald Trump supporter, and like he's big time. And all of a sudden he sees my live feed, and I'm like, F a policy that Trump putting in. All of a sudden he's having a bad day. His wife just got pissed at him. His stock went down. He sees Inspirational Nomad like saying like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at Trump, but I don't support everything he says, and that's it. And like now I see him like, and he's mad at me. Does that happen? Hell yeah, that happens. So you understand what I'm saying? Because like my show is about like all I am. I share about car living. I share about, politics, faith, everyday life. I mean, this is who I am pretty much. So, some people, that's not good enough for them, or they disagree. So like you worry about putting that out there. But again, I mean, it's just me in this world. And I am a good worker. I try to be a good person, not perfect. So now I don't believe you'd have a problem like that in most instances, but it's a possibility. It's a risk. I mean, I'm just giving one example about politics, but it could be about anything. I mean, you say one thing that someone doesn't like with, and all of a sudden, like you're X'd out in their mind. And is life about a level of relationships and networking? A certain part. I mean, it could cut both ways though. You can be yourself, and somebody could really like you. And that could put you ahead too. So there's no telling, again, life is a little bit of an art form, not a science. You have to be yourself, but you certainly have to understand, I mean, there are real risks of life, and there are real downfalls of different things. So, that's kind of my thought process. Milano, what's up, brother? Sammy, as you get older, you value your time more. Well, I totally agree. Good to see you, Milano. That's because as you get older, you have less time. 0.78. That's the lifespan of the average human. You're born, and 78 is the average life expectancy. 38 is the exact middle of your life. That's where I am. I've peaked. Now, less time. Okay? That's, you know, that's pretty much an overview of the human life span. And so you go to work, you trade your time for money, but you need money. The goal of really anyone to try to become financially independent is that you can own more of your time, so that you can do more things that you want to do with your time. But there's certainly people that have a lot of time that they don't know, they got too much time, they don't know what to do with themselves. Again, there's no exact science. Life's a little bit of an art form, not an exact science. So, but I definitely agree with that. Look, your number one resource is time. There's no getting that back. You try to make the most of each day. Circuit. Was it? God damn, I cried on that movie. It's like, yes. I want you guys to YouTube Short Circuit Johnny Fox. Good job, Marin. Oh God. Bambi. Oh, I definitely cried. Oh, Bambi, The Lion King, and Nemo. Finding Nemo. Oh, I cried. And Short Circuit. I think I shed a couple tears on that. Respect and Love. Yeah, thank you. Woohoo. Sam. I got one tot of clothes. Okay. One empty tot for dirty clothes. Okay. What else would you recommend? I was going to do a video on that today. Good job, brother. That's it. What should you do? I think I'll do a video on 5 steps to live in your car. Step 1, consolidate everything you own to one bag, but carry 2 bags. Why do you need 2 bags? One full bag of all your clothes, underwear, socks, or I don't wear underwear, but everything. I got a couple underwear just in case I got to go back to the office. Everything you need. And then one completely empty bag. What do you need the empty bag for? Your dirty clothes. Okay. You don't want your dirty clothes mixed in with your regular clothes. And if you get wet clothes, you want to put them in a separate sealed bag. What else do you need? That's it. That'll keep you busy. Then the only thing you need in your car is window covers, blankets. I got a boogie board. I mean, not too many people can fit that. I got some food in my front seat, and I got my laptop case. That's all I got. So I can only give you advice. That's what I got. I don't have a roof rack with like storage units and everything else. In my opinion, everyone's different. Like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a storage unit unless you have some valuables. The only thing you need that you can't put in your car, in my opinion, is your birth certificate and your social security card. And any type of important document, whether it's a will or something like that, you do not want to keep in your car. You got a couple options. One is, the first place I would recommend is a safety deposit box. They're cheaper than a storage unit. They're only like $50 a year, something like that. And if you don't want to get a safety deposit box, then you're going to have to hold it at a friend or family member's house, and they're not going to, you got to make sure they ain't going to hold it hostage on you if you get in a fight with them. And that's it. But that's the only thing you don't want to carry with you is your birth certificate, your social security card, and very important documents. That you want to have a separate place for. Milano, health is a priority. Totally agree. Look, I mean, you got to feel good, and you got to have health, or else, life really starts to blow. So I agree with that. Tom Hanks, laugh out loud. Good. It's George when he got caught on camera eating the ice cream at the tennis match. Oh, okay. I don't remember the episode too good, just vaguely, but George, my favorite character there. Marin, good one, Tom, thanks. Chevy Life, Swamp Life, I'm not mad at that. Chevy Life, good to see you, brother. Shout out to the Chevy Spark. If you're looking for a car under 15 grand, brand new, look at the Chevy Spark. A little bit tight inside, but you can make it work. I test drove one once. It was okay. I mean, it is what it is. For under 15 grand for a new car, it's a possibility. Hydration break. Love and respect. But what I could tell you is that we go forward and we remain thankful. And when you are overwhelmed and when you have a lot of anxiety, you have to always remember to just break every big problem, every big worry down to small steps. And you have to take every task at work and in your personal life, one task, one step at a time. Because the worst thing you can do is just get paralyzed by all that worry and anxiety and just shut down. Just got to take it one task at a time. And that's all you can do. And if your best isn't good enough for someone or whatever, then it is what it is. You can't worry about that because you're doing your best. And, that's all we can do. Certainly, like I say, you're never going to make everyone happy. And just get okay with that in life. And we just go forward. Gilbert, good evening, Sam. Good evening to you, Gilbert. How was your day, brother? How's everything going, man? Hope you're doing good. My day was positive overall. I mean, work was pretty good. I still worry. I mean, I guess when you're living your dream, I mean, to the aspect of, in many areas, I'm living my dream as far as living where I want, and having a job that I can work remotely. You worry about like that changing, because change happens often, and sometimes in life, especially in today's job industry, you worry about downsizing or realignments or different things like that. And it's like, even when you have something, you worry about it not always being the same. We want to control the future. Worry to a certain extent is wanting to control the future. Do we control anything in this world? Not really. To a certain extent. I mean, we control a certain level of our destiny. Like, I don't believe I would be sitting here with palm trees outside my window if I didn't do the things within my control. Because you don't just get here. Wherever your here is, you have to take action. If you don't do that, you don't go forward. So, and then that's the quote or the scripture says, faith without works is dead. You got to have faith. You got to have hope. And then you got to take action. You got to just you got to get a little bit intense on taking steps. And during the course of you taking steps, you lose some of your supporters. Because people are, in many aspects, looking for you to either entertain them or give them the secret of life. And many times there is no secret, whether it's losing weight or whether it's moving, or it's really just a series of small steps, grace along the way, and not living in a state and plant-based lifestyle, better health, good lifestyle. You'll feel better after you eat a plant-based dinner or lunch. I don't really have heartburn anymore. I really don't have, like, after I eat, I feel like, I got to take a nap. If you feel like after you eat, you have to take a nap, you're eating the wrong thing. For the most part. I mean, I hate to say, even after I eat some skinny popcorn, like, I don't feel like I have to take a nap. After I eat, I go for a walk. After I do this live feed, I'll go for an evening walk around the campground. Is working out like a madman the answer? No. Is, again, is Slim Fast the answer? Is Weight Watchers the answer? Not in my opinion. The answer is a plant-based diet and walking every hour or two. Every hour you should get up and walk for 10 minutes. Change your life. And it's not something strenuous. Like, if you put a big burden on your mind, like, I have to do 20 reps of squats, 20 reps of triceps, and you have to, if you go through all that, you're not going to have the enthusiasm to move. And life is about moving your body, moving yourself, keeping yourself in a forward momentum motion. Even when you're totally fucked up, even when you're failing, even when you feel like you're going backwards, you just keep moving. And I think the power of getting up every hour and going for a walk is a life-changing message. And very accessible to most people. That's what I think. And that's what it is. And drink some more water. That'll get you right. Love and respect. But, that's what it is. I mean, that's the core of the message. And that's the rhythm of life. Gleno, greetings from Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out. No notification of you being here. Gleno, thank you for sharing. A couple people have told me that recently, that they're not getting notified of my videos or live videos. The only thing I have control over is, obviously, you have to be subscribed. So obviously, most people in here are subscribed. If you're subscribed, you hit the bell symbol. And when you click the bell, you should have an option to either click all, occasional, or none. So you have to make, I think by default, when you click the bell, you're lumped into occasional, meaning you're only notified occasionally of my videos. So you don't get overwhelmed by an alert every time I go live or I upload a video. But if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, every time I go live, click that bell and then make sure all is selected. That way you're notified for all videos. So it's not just clicking the bell, it's clicking the bell and then selecting all. That's what I've learned, and that's what I do with other channels. Gleno, I'm subscribed and the bell is set. Well, damn. All thing I can say is that sucks, but I appreciate you telling me, and I appreciate you wanting to come in and join the live chat and leave a comment, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Glenn. I hope everything's going good in Texas. Shout out to Fort Worth, man. And shout out to the Lone Star State, man. A couple of viewers in here from Texas, man. I mean, that's, for me, it's amazing, man. We got a viewer from Texas. We got somebody from Michigan. We got Gilbert from Queens. And a couple people from Florida, Marin from Florida. And, Zakia from Alaska. It's a small world, man. And the world is what it is. There's some good and some bad. Gleno, 28 here tonight. Damn. I was watching somebody on YouTube from Texas saying it was that cold. But I think it's gonna get back up right to the 70s next week. So hang in there, brother. At least you're not in a northern state. I mean, shout out to everyone in a northern state where it could really get cold and get shut out. Ben, shout out from Cali, man. Thank you. I appreciate you leaving a comment, Ben. Thank you, man, for everyone who leaves a comment. And love and respect to people who don't want to leave a comment. That's fine too. But yeah, man. So, I mean, we got like all different sides of the United States represented. You got Cali, you got Texas, Detroit, all that. That's good, man. I love that. Cali's, what is it, like 3 hours earlier? So it's like almost 9 o'clock at night here on East Coast time in Florida. So Cali, they're probably around 6 o'clock. Gleno, 70 on Saturday. Well, there you go. I was talking to some friends in Jersey, and it's cold now, and it's going to pretty much stay cold. They're lucky if they get to 50 degrees for the next 4 months. They're going to be way under 50 degrees in a couple months, but 50 degrees is now like pretty much going to be your high, and that's why I had to get out of there. But again, what's the positive of New Jersey and the tri-state areas? There are a lot of jobs. That's a positive. Good paying jobs, but you pay for it. Everything has a counterbalance. I mean, I bumped into somebody today in that I knew through the IT industry. He worked for a different company, but I knew him through the industry. And we bumped to each other in Starbucks. We knew a couple the same people. And he said, Sam, he had started his own cybersecurity thing. And he was from Miami. And then he told me he was going to Washington, D.C. He was relocating there because that's where the big contracts were for him. I mean, right now, Washington, D.C. and Virginia, that area is booming. There's a lot of federal government money being spent, bottom line. And so, again, he was working for a separate company, separate thing. And he spent 18 years in Florida. But, he had to, I don't know if he wanted to or he didn't want to. I couldn't tell. But, it was just interesting. Life takes you to different places at different points in your life for different reasons. But obviously, look, you always have to be conscious of, for your industry or for what you want to do with your life, where is work abundant? Where is work available? Like, I knew one guy that I worked with, and he had the option to work remote. But I just remember telling him, look, do what you want. But if you end up moving to like Florida or somewhere remote, if God forbid you get laid off, you have to understand if you have a family and if you buy a house in that area, that's very hard to get out of. So if there are not other jobs around that area, like you move to Florida and you brought your family and you bought a house and then you get laid off, if there's not a lot of jobs in that industry, that could suck. One thing, it sucks about having the winters in New Jersey, but if you got laid off, there's a lot of other jobs in that area. That's why a lot of people come to Florida, but they don't live. There's jobs here, but it's a different market. I mean, this is mainly a tourism industry. There's defense contractors, there's some IT, there's a lot of healthcare. Healthcare is the number one industry down here. But, unless you're a doctor or someone like that on the higher end, it is what it is. Gilbert, Texas is nice. Feels like 20 here. Damn. Shout out to Queens, man. 20 degrees. BBT, what's up, brother? Shout out to South Carolina. We got almost all the states represented. Hey, Sam, I've been thinking about my deceased uncle today. Uh-oh. Let's hear what you got to say. Luke, brother, always good to hear from you. Live feeds every night. Always good vibes. Same to you, brother. I appreciate you. Always be yourself, Luke. You keep going forward, brother. And you don't worry about making mistakes. You don't worry about the judgment of others. You don't worry about the fear of failure. All those things are going to happen regardless. So let go of that worry, brother, and be yourself, man. The right people will love you. The right people won't make you feel as though you have to walk on eggshells. The right people will be there when you decide to be yourself. Never forget that. Good job. BBT. He says, my uncle's dying wish was to have me sitting on his lap. My dying wish was to be sitting on J-Lo's lap. Luke, hope you have a truly blessed night. Same to you. And peace and loyalty always. Same to you. Peace emoji. BBT. Oh, he was in an electric chair. He tried to set you up, BBT. Hey, Gilbert. I'm not mad at that. BBT, it's good to joke, man. It's good to laugh, brother. You're missed and you're appreciated. I know sometimes I may say some things you don't agree with, but I love you, brother. And I want the best for you. And you're pushing forward, man. You just keep doing the best you can. I'm still praying for your health and thinking about, you and your family. And, just keep your sense of humor, man. You got to keep a sense of humor in life. Pac had that song with Scarface, Smile. You're going to see a lot of stuff in the future that's going to make it hard to smile. But through all the rain and pain, you got to learn to keep your sense of humor. I agree with that. We just got to take life one day at a time. And that's it. And you have to have the courage, though, to be yourself, and to define your own path. Because whatever it is, whatever your God-given gift is, whatever your talent, whatever your ability, there's going to be times that come up during the course of your journey that you have to kind of like put yourself out there. There's no way around that. And when you put yourself out there, you want to, whatever's going to happen, you want to at least go out your way. Now, there's certainly been times where I've been like an orchestrated robot. And there's a certain time that you want to exhibit certain characteristics of a certain temperament. So you have to learn how to adjust, right? Like when you're driving a car, you don't exit a ramp doing 75 miles per hour. But when you get into a highway and when you're off the exit ramp and you're on a straightaway, then you go, like the minimum you can go on I-95 is 50 miles per hour. So you can't, what I mean? Like that's the time when you're on the straightaway, on the highway, that you rev up the engine and you go faster. But when you're getting ready to exit, then you have to slow down. And it's the same thing with your temperament. Like you don't go into a business meeting and you go rah, 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 rah. But there's a time when you have to get a little bit fired up. And so you have to learn how to kind of slow down, speed up. And there's no exact science. It's art form. But that's how you got to do it. Good job. Gilbert. Give a couple palm trees. Yes. And fire emoji. Thank you, brother. BBT. I love you too, Sam. Love and respect. We are well and I appreciate you. Same back. You are always welcome here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. See what I mean? I mean, look, do best friends become strangers? Yes. But do the right people love you at the right time of your life? Yes. And it doesn't require much effort. If you really have to one of the times that I would really bombed out in a couple of relationships was I had to have a certain outfit on. I wanted to look a certain way. I wanted to be a certain person for someone else. I was too orchestrated. And that comes across wrong because you can only keep up the show so long. Eventually, the people who don't like you, they're going to come to pass. They don't like you. And you can't wear the perfect outfit every day. You can't be the perfect person every day. You can't. And you can't worry about that. What you can be is your best self. And that's the only thing you should focus on. Everything else is, it is what it is. BVT. We need Gilbert down here in South Carolina. Teach him how to relax, talk slow, and watch his blood pressure numbers drop. Yeah. And get him a good barbershop set up because that's his goal and his vision. And that's what I would love to see everyone, even if you never make your dream 100%, I would just love to see people just go forward And even if that means every hour go for a walk, that's going forward. Never forget that. Doesn't have to be a big exotic thing. And drink more water. Love and respect. Do I worry about what people think? I mean, I'm human. I want to certainly be liked. I certainly want to, we all need favor. We all need people to like us to a certain degree. You can't just bull your way through life. But, at the end of the day, you got to let a lot of that go too. So there's a balance. Chris, what's up, brother? Yo, Sam. Since we're talking plant-based diet, okay. If you find yourself in Lake Worth, I was there the other day, beach area, you got to check out Mama Earth Sanctuary. I will, because I was over there. Miss Patty cooks up the finest. I'll Google that. Thank you, brother, for that recommendation. Yeah, I was in Lake Worth. Is doing a lot of revitalization of the area. Definitely by the beach area. There was some casino. I didn't go in there. At least it said it was a casino. There's bars, shops. That whole beach area, beautiful. There was a new Starbucks right off Route 1. That was nice. Lake Worth, that area, I see that area as an upcoming area. Definitely. I mean, most of Florida, most of Florida, look, most neighborhoods, real estate is getting bought up and redeveloped. It's in a boom time right now. And when California and Florida, when the economic wheels are going forward, they're boom towns. Prices go up, but when times get bad, they drop faster than other places. So it's all relative. Gilbert, I'm on my way at BBT. Chris, Mother Earth for GPS purpose. Laugh out loud. I'm going to check that out, man. Thank you, Chris. Love and respect, man. Lake Worth in the house, man. I looked at some real estate over there because I was impressed. I said, man, Lake Worth pretty cool. It's right by Palm Beach. For those who don't know where Lake Worth is, Palm Beach, Southeast Florida. And nice area. And close proximity to commuting if you had to commute. BBT, yo, you're a good egg, Gilbert. Tell yourself, yes, I agree with this. BBT says, you're a good egg, Gilbert. Tell yourself the daily and avoid people that don't lift your spirits. I totally agree with that. Great comment, BBT. I would give you a thumbs up if I could. And I can. Pat yourself on the back and don't be with people who don't encourage you, who don't support you, who don't speak to your confidence. Yeah, I totally agree with that, BBT. Good comment. Definitely. Xavier, what's up, brother? Should I feel guilty not subjecting to my peers' beliefs of getting the nice car and the nice house and stressing job and just deciding to live out of a van? No, you certainly shouldn't, because what you're going to find is 70 to 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Most people are stressed out and most people are hurting emotionally and everything else. And so I don't say that to judge them. I say that as a life observation. So that gives you the confidence not to worry about what they think and to be yourself. And if what you're doing is not hurting someone, and you can live out of a van legally. Again, it's legal to live out of a car. It's illegal to jaywalk. It's illegal to text and drive. It's legal to live in a van. So more people commit crimes by texting and driving, by jaywalking, than you do living in a van. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is legally parking, which, look, you can figure it out. Whether you do campgrounds, whether you're going to have a family member or friend that you're going to stay on their property, whether you have some type of an arrangement, maybe with somebody who has a business, maybe they have a garage or something you can park in. Now, sometimes you may not have any of those options. But even if you paid at campgrounds, even if you paid $800 a month at campgrounds, if you add up the fees, you have flexibility. Now, is it a long-term thing? I got to be honest with you. Based on what I've seen, I think the average lifespan of someone living in their car is 8 months. I think after that, most people, it's not sustainable. But again, I've been doing it for 2 years. What's going to be the outcome for you? I don't know. So I won't try to lie to you, Xavier. I won't try to lead you astray. And I try to make videos to show the good and the bad as best I can. Now, look, overall, it's good for me at this time. So, it comes across positive because it's working. At some point, it may not. But what I could tell you is, again, you're not doing anything to hurt anyone. So at the end of the day, even if everyone that disagrees with it, it's your life. And you certainly can't worry about that. Good job. BBT. Gilbert at BBT. That is why I'm here. Good vibes. Gilbert, I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you coming back. And you know what? It is good to have positive people in your life. Look, most of the day and most of this world, it beats you up. You need, part of recharging your batteries is being around people that, it's good vibes. BBT, me too, Gilbert. Tony, what's up, brother? I didn't get the notification. A lot of people telling me that. Thank you for letting me know also. Sorry I'm late. That's all right. I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you leaving a comment. Yeah, again, I have no control over that, but thank you for telling me. Again, the only thing I know to say is you have to be subscribed to the channel to get notified, and then you click the bell. But when you click the bell symbol, you have to make sure that all notifications is selected. Because what I've learned is when you click the bell, or if you don't click the bell, you're just defaulted into occasional notifications. So when you click the bell, you have to select all. Now, if you have that selected and still not notifying you, I'm sorry, but thank you for letting me know. And thank you for joining. BBT. I miss seeing Chris. Remember him? I do think about him. His mother was ill. Yes, I do. Hope he's okay. Great comment, BBT. There was a guy that came in here named Chris. I forgot his tag name. But I mean, during the course of my journey, I've been on YouTube for about a year and a half. And there was a lot of people who started, just like Gilbert saying too, Miss Kimberly. It's Miss Kimberly from Texas. She dropped off too. I don't know if I don't know what happened to her. I followed her on Instagram. She's not there anymore. It's Miss Kimberly was one of my first supporters. She was one of the first ones that encouraged me to go live. She's not here anymore. Chris was a great brother, shared his story. He's not here anymore. Maybe they have different profiles and they just watched me on the low, or maybe I said something that offended them or they didn't agree with, or maybe they just deactivated their social media. All those things happen. What I've learned in life is best friends become strangers, and people are in your life sometimes only for a season. And, sometimes, that makes us sad because we want to control the future. We want people to be in our life forever, but they're not. And so you can't worry about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it is what it is. But I'm glad that we're bringing up their names, because those people, in my opinion, are part of this channel, and I'm thankful for both of them. And look, anyone who adds positive value to the channel, man, it's got to be that. Because if I just sit here and bark at my phone for an hour, there's no, that doesn't really change anything. So it's a two-way street. Chris, laughing. Good. It's good to laugh. Chevy Life. Are you staying in Florida or heading north for Thanksgiving? I'm going to stay in Florida. I talked to my mom, which would be the only reason I would go north. And I think it's the best thing for me to stay down here at this time. I may go back up north during Christmas. I was surprised. I couldn't even believe next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Can you believe that? Today, as I make this live feed, depending on when you watch the replay, what is today, November 11th or November 12th? Or is it later than that? What's today's date? But either way, as I make this live feed, next Thursday is Thanksgiving 2018. So, but no, I'm not going up north. I thought about that. And then I thought about, because I made camping reservations. I said, well, should I make reservations or should I travel? So I don't know. I have off next Thursday from work. I have off next Thursday and Friday. So I may travel. I may go to a different part of Florida. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really figured that out. But I'll be alone. But I'll still be thankful. I'm going to go live probably. I don't know how many people will be in a live feed, but I'll go live. And, I'll just do my normal routine. I'll try to make the most of each day. I'm going to walk, enjoy my life, go live on YouTube, and just go from there. Brizzy, Tallahassee in the house. Yes, shout out to my fellow Floridian. Brizzy, love and respect. BBT, Crossroads Chris. Yes, that was his name. Well, all I can say is let's just keep him in prayer, and we appreciate him. Thank you, BBT, for reminding us. Glenn O, it's hard to believe all the holidays are so close. Yep. Now, look, I made a video about this last year. Holiday heart attack. During the holiday season, heart attack and health issues spike. Not a huge percentage, but a percentage higher. Why? Two reasons. Number one is stress. You worry about making plans with your friends and family and all those things. And then two is the weather and the food. The weather gets colder, except in Florida, and you start to eat greasy and nasty food because the holidays. You might as well cheat. Get your life together after Christmas. Total disaster. Get your life together now and don't even go to holiday functions. That's what I say. But enjoy time with your loved ones, and that's all we can do. But nothing wrong with being by yourself too. That's what I do. Gleno, I'm going to deep fried turkey. I always wanted to do that. I know a couple people that did it. I heard it was delicious. I mean, again, now I eat a plant-based diet. I don't eat any meats, and I don't eat anything fried, even though I used to love fried chicken. But that's one regret, or not one regret, but that's one thing I would have liked to have tried was fried turkey. But let me know, how does it taste? It's got to taste good. I mean, I can't go bad with that. Today is, thank you. Ben says today is November 13th, 2018. Thank you, brother. Tuesday. Thank you, Ben. Good job. Big Dawn. What's up, brother? I'm here. I'm mad at that's all right. We got love for you. I appreciate you leaving a comment. Thank you. Good to see you. BBT. Hard to beat a deep fried turkey. I've heard they're delicious. And they're so moist. That's what everyone tells me. But I heard you got to be careful that they don't catch on fire or something. Or that grease can get popping and it goes crazy. Tony, be careful, Glenn. I had a friend lose a house over a turkey. See? That's what happens. You get caught on fire, right? Woohoo. Turkey is one of the most disgusting birds a human can eat. Well, that's true. And if you don't believe me, go to a farm. That being said, your finger looking good. I remember going to Boston Market and having some turkey with the fixings. Gleno, laugh out loud, Tony. BBT. Last Thanksgiving, I cooked a 13-year-old rooster. Damn. He was so tough, I couldn't stick a fork in the gravy. Damn. BBT, coming in hot. Rick, when was the last time you cooked and ate, man? Probably when I had my house. So, it was about 2 years ago. And even when I had my house, the last 2 months, I didn't cook because I cleaned everything in my house. I threw out everything, and I was like, I'm not gonna mess it up. I'm just gonna close on it. So I would say 2.5 years ago, as far as really cooking. But even when then, I was at the point in my journey where I was eating a plant-based diet, so I wouldn't cook. I the last 3 years of my house, I didn't cook. The only thing I would use my stove for was the oven underneath. I would heat up a sweet potato with no butter. I would bake a sweet potato for 30 minutes. Once in a while, I would cook salmon. But I just had a salad. I chopped up fresh vegetables. I had put in a bowl with low-sodium Goya beans, and I would put a sweet potato on top. Once in a while, I would boil corn. But the last 3 years of owning a house, I never really cooked. And that's why I don't miss it. That's why I don't have a little cook stove. When you cook food, you burn off most of the nutritional value. When you boil vegetables, you saturate most of the nutritional value. You want to eat food in its whole state as much as possible. Because when you eat whole foods, meaning food that hasn't been processed, and when you cook something, when you cook vegetables on a grill, you're basically burning off the nutritional value. You're not eating a pepper, you're burning off the pepper's nutritional value. And you're just eating empty calories. Now, it's better than eating, a candy bar, but you understand what I'm saying? And so, food has nutrients. When you ingest food and you digest it, the nutrients get carried through your bloodstream and they feed your cells. And your cells are some of your body. And so what's cancer? Cancer is a deformed cell that spreads and mutates. Not to say that you can eat healthy and still get cancer, certainly. But you certainly do, and studies show it, you lessen your chances, not eliminate, but you lessen your chances of having cancer when you eat healthier whole foods because they feed your cells good nutritional value. I'll look that up. Just broke down some knowledge. Good job. Airmop. Sam, how do you dispose of your urine? Public restroom or campground restroom in the morning? Just curious. And how your window covers. And how is your window cover? Good, yeah. My urine goes, after it's in the bottle, goes the same place everyone else puts their urine. Flush down the toilet. Public restroom, usually a campground that I'm at. Put it there. Same thing as peeing. I just hold it in the one night in my jug. And yeah, my window covers are good. In the front window covers, I have I bought from Walmart like the solid, foldable ones that go over my front windshield. In my back, I have like flexible ones to cover the side windows and the back windows, because you need flexible ones because they're not like an exact measurement. And the front one is just this sturdy, like reflective accordion thing that I bought from Walmart. And they work great. It's totally dark in here at night. It's like a cave, and that's what you need at night. You need it dark, cool, and quiet, and very much like that, especially when I'm in a campground. When I'm in a rest area, sometimes, or a truck stop, sometimes a little bit noisy. The 2 times, or maybe 4 times, like 2 years living out of my car, maybe 2 to 4 times I got a knock on my door by a security guard or a police officer, and it was at a rest area. And it wasn't because necessarily I was doing anything wrong. It's because I stayed longer than the limit. So, rest areas tend to have either dedicated security guards or state troopers patrolling them. And so most rest areas have a time limit. You can't stay there more than 2 or 3 hours. So most security officers and most cops will give you a grace period because they know the average human needs about 6 hours of sleep. But like after 6 hours, like there's been a couple times like I slept past 6 hours. Sometimes you get a knock on the window saying, look, understand you're just sleeping. You're not doing anything wrong, but you got to get things together and keep it moving because, our job is just to make sure that people don't stay here longer than 3 hours. We usually let people stay up to 6 just so they can get the proper sleep. But rest areas are overall safe, but especially once it gets patrolled, that's what you have to be mindful of. Leno, when I was a trucker, I would hit up Denny's. Yep, I've seen them in a lot of truck stops too. They have them on Thanksgiving. Yep, they have them actually in a lot of truck stops here in Florida. They rock on Thanksgiving. Yep, I see that. Big dong. Thank you, Glenn. You can cure cancer with food. Well, I definitely think you could help. I think a holistic look at health is better. There's nothing perfect, and you can't eliminate cancer necessarily, and you can't eliminate disease, but you can fight disease and you can make yourself more healthier and your immune system more healthier by feeding your body healthier food. So I definitely agree with that. That being said, it's not easy. Some people can't control themselves. Again, my aunt died from obesity. My mother's side of the family always struggled with their weight. Some people can't help themselves. They know better. They just can't help themselves. I wasn't as compassionate until I got older in life. Again, I do believe that kind people, kind, compassionate, empathetic people are the best people. Now, that can get abused, and I'm not saying you should walk around and be like a pansy, like a softie. But when in doubt, don't judge. So like, you may not struggle with food, but maybe you struggle with anger, or maybe you struggle with being anxious, or maybe you struggle with gambling, or maybe you struggle with unhealthy relationships. But don't leave me a message and talking about like porn is evil and you're sitting there a glutton. Because there were 7 deadly sins in the Bible. Gluttony, which means stuffing your face with food, was a deadly sin. Don't tell me you're against abortion, but you're overweight. Because gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins. Okay? So what do I say? We're all saved by grace. We're all saved by grace. And kind, compassionate people are the best people. Okay. And that's the truth. Love and respect. Rick Chan. Good point, Sam. Thanks. Thanks for your reply. No, Rick, thank you for your comment, man. Thank you for everyone, man, for leaving a comment. Love and respect, Rick. Air 'em up. Are you still using campgrounds? Yep, I'm staying at one now, except weekends. Actually, this weekend I'm staying at a campground. Last weekend I didn't stay at a campground, and I got a little sad because I was like, when you don't have any one fixed place to stay, sometimes I get sad because it's like, you're just out there. And so this weekend I just said, you know what, I'm gonna book the whole weekend. I'm paying for it. I'm paying almost $30 a night. There's a couple cheaper campgrounds, and there's some that are free if you go in the middle of nowhere. But it's all, sometimes I do off the weekends. Most of the time I don't do campgrounds. Like this weekend I'll be at a campground. Next weekend I won't. So it just depends how I feel. Like last weekend I didn't do a campground, and I just felt a little bit sad because when you're living on the road and when you don't have a place to go that night, Now, certainly I scout out where I'm going to stay legally, but that's a challenge, and so, sometimes that weighs on your mind, and you're already fighting the world. So I needed like a weekend of like, you know what, let me just have a place to sleep. And look, I know people in Florida, and I know I probably could work something out with friends or people I know, but I try to keep that separate. Now, is that right or wrong? For me, I just like to be on my own. And so that's how I feel. Gilbert. Oh wait, I skipped one. Sorry. Air Mob. Answered the first question. Campground, $30 a day. Yeah. Look, it's $26 a night in most state parks in Florida, but it's a 5% state tax and then a 5% what they call optional tax. So at the end of the day, it's $26 per night and then 10% tax when you add up all the tax, and then add another $6 if you do reservation fees. But pretty much $26, and then you add 10%, you're at about $29, something like that. And then if you add a reservation fee, then you're over $30. So that's pretty much what it breaks down to. So if you did $30 times 30 days in a month, then you're at $900. I don't stay 30 days, but that's what it would be. But you're not in a long-term lease. You can stay one day and leave the next. That's going to break down to your individual journey. For many times, I've gone months sometimes without staying at campgrounds. But I mean, the downside is, look, if I ever, God forbid, lost my job and I had to get a job that's static again, then it would be a little bit tough for me. And then I may have to look at getting a home base, because, you can only stay at campground so long, and there's not a campground everywhere, and you can't stay there indefinitely. So the only reason I was able to pull it off in New Jersey was because I knew some things in the area. At times I depended on people I knew. I stayed on their property, and I had a couple things set up. I did it even like my own way when I was, I knew some spots I could do, but that's not easy to sustain everywhere all the time. So, you just have to be mindful of that. I mean, there's downside to this lifestyle. You can do it, but you can certainly end up spending just as much as you would on rent. Certainly. So, and nothing wrong with that, because even if you spend just as much as you would for rent, what you have is flexibility. So if all of a sudden you need to go to South Carolina to get a job, guess what? Now you live in South Carolina. Not that I want to go to South Carolina, even though I love South Carolina. But all of a sudden, you got to go to Orlando to get a job. Now you live in Orlando. Or you got to go visit a sick relative. I mean, so you can change, but you don't have stability. So it's a trade-off. Gilbert. Well, let me just, I'm starting to sweat. Oh, love and respect. Gilbert, I don't do holidays. I visit when the spirit moves. Amen. Me too, brother. Me, other than that, I avoid. Well, I agree. That's how me and my mother are at this point in the journey. We say to each other, look, we're not going to force it. We tried many years forcing it, and it wasn't good. We love each other. God has given us many good years together. We're not going to force it. Some people are very legalistic, like they have to do holidays together. I don't like that. I don't like, I like how you're saying, Gilbert. And those are the best relationships, that you don't feel obligated to do something. If you do something, it's freely and willingly, and that's the best way to do stuff. So, Gilbert, that's why me and you vibe, brother. Submarine Vet, what's up, brother? Much love from Boston, like always. I had a friend that visited Boston last weekend, and he said he had a good time. I've been to Boston, great city. Submarine Vet, love and respect, brother. Thank you. Glen Oak. In the same weight since high school, 165. That's what Jerry Seinfeld said, but then he also changed his size of his jeans to show that he was 34 waist, but really he was 36. And still work out 3 or 4 times a week. Glen Oak, you're in shape, man. 52 now? I'm not mad at that. Sounds like you ain't having any skinny pop. Good job. Smack a dog. Now, I hope you don't mean smack a dog, but he follows me on Instagram. My Instagram is the word inspire_38. Smack a dog. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. I don't know if that's your girlfriend. I know that's from like a year ago because I checked out your page. I said, who the hell is Smack a Dog? Because, I love dogs. Like, don't go smacking a dog. But I checked his Instagram. Then I seen him like a couple hot girls he took a picture with. Now, no disrespect if they're your girlfriend. But if they're free MILFs, hook me up, man. I'm out here single, Smack a Dog. What you got to say? Just curious, though, man. How much social interaction do you have at work, and how do they feel about YouTube videos? Or maybe haven't found out you. Bless you. Thank you. Also to you. Some know, most don't. My interaction at work is business. So I don't talk much personal. I'm there to do a job. I do my job. And that's pretty much the extent of it. Like, I lived in a condo for 15 years. Out of those 15 years, my 15 years working, like, we never talked about my house really, unless I wanted to. We never really talked about my dating. We never talked about my Facebook account. So, like, you go to work tomorrow, do you talk about your Facebook account? No. You talk about your job. So, obviously, being out in the public is a little bit more light, but, I keep that separate. But, you have to look at it through that perspective. When you show up to work tomorrow, you're not going to talk about what you posted last night on Facebook. Most people aren't. You're not going to talk about, like, your house is this or your house is that. You're just going to talk about, all right, what do we have to do today? And then you're going to try not to get upset and just get through the day. But that's kind of how I look at it. But good to see you, brother Gilbert. My weight has changed many times. I understand that. And since high school, that has why I'm working out on it now. Amen, Gilbert. Look, as we get older, it is harder to keep off weight. It's harder to be healthy because our bodies deteriorate. Back in the day, in my early 20s, I could eat a bucket of fried chicken and go play a full court basketball game and still drop a triple double like I'm Ice Cube on a good day. Now, I eat one piece of fried chicken, my body shuts down. I got to take a nap for 2 hours. That's why I'm not eating fried chicken. What I can tell you is that's part of getting old. The other thing I can say is every hour, get up and walk around your house for 10 minutes or walk outside. Good job. Chris, plant foods alkalize the pH of the body as well as cancer. Can't thrive in that environment. Yeah, I know. What was that guy, Dick Gregory? He's got like that YouTube stuff where he's real fanatical in that. Now, look, I think you can, I'm all for plant-based, but all I'm saying is, look, a plant-based diet ain't going to, like, all of a sudden cure everything and you're going to date J-Lo and, like, life's, but I do think I'm a full supporter of it. I just want to, like, kind of like be balanced in, like, you know what I mean? So I'm with you. I'm not mad at you. Gilbert, amen. Peace and love. All right, let's end on a positive note. In life, never stretch out the conversation. Speak your piece, build with others, and never worry about if you are not everything to everyone. Be your best self, improve. Don't be too prideful to grow. Don't be too prideful to mature. At the same time, always remember that kind people are the best people. Certainly, though, you don't want your kindness to be abused. You have to find balance. Balance is a hard thing, and it's a moving target. But that's the goal. And that's what I want to share. Peace and love.